Hi, this is Lay from Lay Scheidell's Network Marketing Support Group, and I just wanted to carry on today with the beginner's uh, experience for utilizing Canva to create your designs. And for the second portion, I wanted to go into Canva and discuss specifically after you select an option, and this time I'm going to build a cover. Uh, Cover page can be used for your Facebook profile itself. You can use it for a business page. You can use it for your fan page. And then a slightly different but very close is the events cover page. So when we cover this, this will give you an idea of how to create one of these for your different social media applications. At the very top of the page, that's what we're talking about here. So I've got one up and open for you here. And while we do this, we're going to take a look at some of the options on the far left-hand side of Canva here. And you'll notice on the far left at the very top under the Canva label, we have a search magnifying glass. And if I click on that, it brings up a little bit of text underneath the window for typing in. And I can type in any sort of thing here. Let's say presents, and it will give us some options of different things that are available for you to utilize within uh, your creations. And note right away that what I see here is when I put in presents, there's only one present that I see that's free. Everything else has a $1 tag to it. Anywhere where you see within Canva that it has a tag for a cost, even if you go into a paid version of Canva, you still have to pay that $1 per use, or there's a couple of other license options, but that's only for the one specific item that you're looking at. And I just wanted to give you an idea of this here. I was going to put in a couple of different examples. Uh, Okay, so now you have different boxes. They're showing you shipping boxes mostly, and then as you go down, there's boxing gloves. There's again another, no, well, that's from presents. Uh, Anyhow, you could put in any number of items, and there's actually a lot of things that are often free depending what you're searching for. How about some glasses? Okay, so we have drinking glasses, wine with the bottle of wine with a wine glass. We have a pair of eyeglasses, uh, another drink with a stir stick standing out of it. Uh, and then we go into paid options, which are often photographs. So somebody's making a little bit of money on some of those and other designs, creations people have done. We could also put in eyeglasses, which would be a little obviously different, and then we get all the different options for eyeglasses. And anyhow, that's enough of that one. We'll move on, and over here on the left underneath our search is layouts. Layouts are interesting because they have sets of attributes that have already been established for you. A background, text fonts and sizes that are already there for you. And if you look where my on the just to the right of where we selected layouts, and you see my cursor moving around this one item here, I'm going to go ahead and select that very first layout that's available that says it's free. And when I click on it, you'll notice that it pops up in the open canvas that's laying to the right that we selected for that Facebook cover. Now, when you're working with Facebook cover, you always have the option to add your personal photograph, and that's for obviously the Facebook profile cover. And you can opt to use or not use that for any other cover page that you set up. I'm not sure what the display is if you're using it for a business page or a fan page because I don't have a picture in mind. So I'm not clear about what that would be. These other things that you see here, this is just an image that we'll talk about in a minute that you can get through Elements. This is one size and font of text, font style that is, and then another with a larger one and a different font, and then back to the first one. You can change all of these. I could go up here again as we did yesterday, and you can change the font name. So if you aren't happy with it, you can leave it exactly where it is, but you could change the type of font, the size. In this one, you can change it to bold or not. You can make it italics, or no, italics doesn't work here. Anyhow, those are the different options that we covered yesterday, so we won't cover that. I just wanted to show you what it was like to have an attributed page from layouts. Let's say we don't want that one, but let's go back over to where we did pick this up on the left and to the right of layout itself. And let's select the next one down. And I'm just trying to give you a feel for what the different things are. You can add more text once you have that up there. If you wanted text, just go ahead and add another text line like we did yesterday. And you can change the color, the size, and the font just in all of the same demonstration we had before. I'm going to go ahead and move on. I'm going to clear my screen here. I'm going to delete the background. And okay, then I'm moving over to the elements. Elements are the third item down on the far left under the Canva emblem. And if we select elements, you'll see just to the right of that, there are 10 options. And those options are all loaded with different pre-established features. Christmas would be something that's seasonal and it changes from season to season. I'm sure Valentine's Day is going to be up here soon. So if you click on that, you can see all kinds of free items. You can pick up your scroll bar just to the right edge of the area where all of these elements are. And you can scroll down and you can see there's quite a few things within elements that are all free for you to use. And then say you want one of these, you just click on it and it's going to pop up on your canvas. And then I can just move it around where I want it, so I'll put it over there. And then we could add any number of these, and I want to stay away from the paid ones because I don't want to pay for any today. So no, that's not a good one. That's not what we want. I'm just messing around here because I'm just trying to show you what some of these different elements are. And if we click back on the main elements, it takes us back to where we could select. Here are free photos that they already have pre-selected for you that you could utilize. There's a photo. You can adjust the size of it. And then once you make it big, you can move it around so it sits in the position that you want. You can make it as big as you want, but then you're only going to be looking at a portion of that photograph on your canvas. So as you can see here, so giving you a feel for what happens. Then we have grids. So if we go over here and click on grids a couple of times, it would bring up what they're talking about here in grids. This first one is the full space is the grid. The second one, it has a wider section on the left and then a narrower one to the right. And as you look at all of them, you'll see numbers of repeated photos within a canvas. And those are to show you the style of grid or pre-selected area for typing in that are made available by that particular option. And so then we're going to come back here and go back on elements again. Okay, there. And we have frames. So it's kind of, frames are, okay, the grids are right and left, and the frames are up and down. Slight difference, but you'd be able to see by the examples below what the differences are. Then we have shapes. Shapes I often use in, what do I use it for? I use it as a background when I want to put text on something, but there's a picture there, and the picture isn't muted or softened. So I'll put a box up and I'll move it to where I want it. And then within the box, I can go over here, way to the far left where we know text is, and we click on the text after we've created that box. And we're just going to click on a text item, and we're going to adjust to my favorite we already know is Allura. And I'll leave it white for this demonstration. And I'll move it down into the box. And we'll say, whoops, no, we didn't make it white. We will make it white. You click up here on the colors, we'll click here on the slide, and slide it down, select white, and then we'll say, Happy New Year. Okay, it dropped down because it wasn't wide enough box, so we widened the box, and then we can shift it to center it on the background box that we have there. And that's how I would utilize the box feature from elements, or shapes from the elements. There's all kinds of shapes in here, as you can see. You can find circles and hexagons, triangles, stars, hearts. You can go through the list yourself and see, and plenty of them are free. So you can see over and over again in Canva. They give you lots of options, and there are ways to work around the paid things that exist. So we'll move on. We did text already. We understand that one. Let's take a quick look at backgrounds. Backgrounds can be solid colors that you can just hit, and if I move the picture, you'll be able to see that it is behind, but I'm covering it with the picture. So then if I move it around and adjust, I could have both background and image both, or close it off with the image that's over the top, just to show you some different things. If you grab the scroll bar to the right section that we're in here displaying the backgrounds, you can scroll down and you can see all different free background styles that they have. Options with stripes that are vertical and horizontal and dots and looks like fruit. We have lines that are already established for you. We have way up at the top, we have vertical lines. We have lines that are set up to look like a beehive. Those colors that you see in all of these options here are what exists. If you select that, that will be the entire background grid. And I'll move the photo again so you can see what's there in the background. And I'll move my photo back up there. And that's how backgrounds work. And we already know about uploads. We did uploads yesterday. We used that a few times. What I did want to cover with you briefly is a lot of times we need photos for the different things that we're doing. And what I do is I use my browser, and I'm going to open a new tab for you here. And I'm going to go to one of the places that I get software, or pardon me, images that most of the time are free. Occasionally you have to give credit to the photographer for the piece that they've done. So you always need to read the credits carefully, or the information carefully that's provided, so that you know what you're getting in your free license. And so we're going to go to pexels.com. That's PEXELS.com. And we're just going to go there. And you're going to see the normal search window that we're all accustomed to. And I don't know what kind of background I want today. Uh, Holiday trees, maybe? Let's see what I get. Okay, so I get holiday trees, all kinds of them. And you can just go to the far right of the window that you have open and scroll down, use that to pull down. Do a left click and pull down on that bar, and you'll be able to see the images just continue on all the way through. And if you like one of these, I kind of like this one right here in the center, so I'm going to click on that one. And what's important here is to look at all the information to the right. And I always like these right away when I see them and it says free download, because then if you continue on down just below that information, it tells you that it came from unsplash.com, and I'll cover that information in a little bit. And this is the license that it has, and it's free for personal and commercial use. No attribution required. So you don't have to put the name of the photographer or anything in there, willing to allow you to use this. So what I would do is I would take this photo that's right here in the middle, and I use my mouse and I right click on it. And when I do, I have the option to scroll through these, and just above center is a save image as. You can see the gray area, and we're going to click down on that one. And that's going to bring up my computer screen, and then I'm going to go into a place where I save photos. So I'm pointing to a flash drive E that I have, and I'll take my scroll and I will go down to photos. Photos is where I usually put photos, and it naturally is opening up there already. And so then I would just put that this is the Christmas tree. Okay, and so then I've typed that in there and I've saved that. And then if I wanted another one, I could go backwards with my browser, and I could go into that window that is the search bar and enter in new information. Maybe I need networking people. Let's see what happens. I don't know what it'll bring up. Oh, great. We have people. You can see different pictures, and you could go through and pick whatever kind of photograph you wanted, if that was appropriate for what you're looking for. The point here is that you really could put in any variety of things, and I might pick a background like this if I were doing some kind of work networking. And I would just open it again as we did before, click on it, and take a look over to the right. And again, it's a free download, free for personal and commercial use. No attribution it's required, and so this would be another good photo. And so you come back over the photo, right click with your mouse, and scroll down to just above the center point, as you'll have the gray highlighted area, and you're going to save image as, and you're going to click on that one, and then you just name it in the file folder where you've been, and you would just save that. I'm not really going to save this one in this example. Then there's another software that I like to use, which was just mentioned in here, and that's Unsplash. And I'm going to go to Unsplash. And it's already pulled up. We're going to go there. And basically it's the same type of thing. So maybe we want, right here is our search window. And so I'm going to click in there and I'm going to say meeting tables and see what I get. And so if I take a look, first you can see it's business time, the startup, collect screens. So they're giving you some ideas already based on what you did enter. And then if you scroll down, you'll see all kinds of meeting tables. That's what I put in, and so that's what we have, just a whole variety, anything you can imagine. And so if there's something specific you're looking for, just keep digging deeper if you don't see it on the surface. So that's another of the options. Then there is also Splash, which is just a slightly different one. So we'll open another window here and we'll go to splash.com. And it's the same type of thing, only this one also gives you categories. This one, sometimes I don't care for this one as much, although it does exist, and sometimes things pop up in the other search engines that I'm using to pull them, but I don't find this one as friendly to get items that I really want. But this is one. And the last one I have on my list, and we'll open another window for that one, is Pixabees. Pixabay.com. Pixabay. And if you take a look, that's where we are. And let's see what happens if we take a look at eyewear. And guess what? We have all kinds of eyewear. Got some of the fanciest sunglass eyewear here. We've got some of the Bob Dylan round style. We've got every kind of eyewear style you could imagine. So as you can see, depending on what kind of things you're looking for, you can really pull up quite a few images that are something you would want to use. And then you can just right click on it and you can save image as in this one. You can open it, and then as you can see, again, we've done this before. This one is showing you something interesting that you won't see on everything. And these photos I like because you see the image that's standing out on this one, but this gray and white checker background means, like it was on the labels that we created, that means this is transparent, so you're not going to see a background when you put these rose-colored sunglasses onto your canvas that you're working with. So I'm going to go ahead just for the fun of it and download this one. This is a free download. We've taken a look. That's free for commercial use. That's what I would be concerned with. Since this is for my business, when it's personal, it's usually not as big an issue. So we're going to go ahead and do that quick free download, and we're going to go with the size it's letting us choose, and we're going to download it. And oh, and on this one, they want to know that we really exist. And so what they're asking me to do is tell them what I see here first. So they want me to type the text. So we're going to do that, just like they have it. And then we're going to go ahead and continue with the download. Because as long as you copy that text right, they gave it to you. Now again, like we had before, I'm set up so that when I open any kind of graphic image on my computer, it automatically opens the image graphic software that I'm using, in this case Corel Painter Essential 5, which cost me $20 online, and I have unlimited use of this software. So now I've got the image captured here, and I need to go ahead and go through my process on my computer and save that image, and I'm going to put it down here in with the photos, and I'm going to put, they've got it named, but I'm going to give it a new name, Rose Colored Eyeglasses. And there I have saved it, and then I'm going to just close this and close the software. And that's a good demonstration to show you those. And I'm going to pop back over here to Canva. So you could set this up any way you wanted. And maybe I don't want to use this window here for my photo of me. Maybe I want to put it way over here to the right side where I'm moving my cursor in a circle. So I just will scroll down where I have loaded one in the past. If you don't have one loaded, you could go ahead and click the upload there. Upload your photo on here. It will be displayed in this section. Then you would just, like right here, here's one of me, and I just click on that. Pops open. I don't like how large it is, so I'm going to make it quite a bit smaller. Bring it down in size, and then I'm just going to grab hold of it and move it over here, and that's where maybe I might use that in this. Maybe I want it a little bigger, so I make it a little bigger there, and then maybe I would add some more text because maybe it's a website, I don't know. And if so, the information that would be on there. And so then, oops, I don't want that. And so then I would make sure it was on the way I wanted if it was on one line. And that's probably way bigger than I want. And maybe I bring it back. Ooh, that's maybe too small. How about in there? Okay, and then I don't like the black text, so how about we jump over here and change it there. And let's see if that'll work here. It'll work if I put it over here somewhere where it stands against the colors, but it's not against the white. Anyhow, this is basically just an example for you to do this style and size and shape. You can set it up absolutely any way you want because the tools are right here for you to use. And double check my notes here. It looks like I have covered everything I intended to on this second video of Canva for beginners. And thank you for bearing with me through this training. I hope you picked up some helpful knowledge. And don't forget, if you want to save the file after you're all finished creating it, we need to go up here, give it a name. So we'll click on the title bar, which is up here next to the left of the share, and we click on that and type in a name and call it whatever it is we want. On this one I would say Happy New Year. Enter is same as clicking done. So now you see its names there, and you go ahead and click your download, and then you would go ahead and download it. Anyhow, I just want to make sure I covered that piece. And that, my friends, is how you would do a cover page. I hope you enjoyed. Have a great night. Bye-bye.